Welcome back to the big question this Monday night. We're just to remind you that we are talking about that big verdict that came off from the Madras High Court today about the uniform system of education being asked to be implemented this academic year. Again, I'm just going to be reintroducing our guests. We do have Mr. N.G.R. Prasad, the advocate for the Madras High Court, in fact for the petitioner as well, joining us from our Hindu studios, Mr. Gajendra Babu and Mr. A. Navneetha Krishnan joining us. Just to come back to you, Mr. Prasad, there's always been that proposal of and that reference to that so-called expert committee, but all we have seen on the pages of these books sometimes is personal glorification, be it of Karunanidhi or anyone else from the previous party. But has this committee, according to you, really delivered? What are your thoughts?
No, the expert committee has gone into it. It was not an expert committee in that sense. Before the parent enactment was enacted, an elaborate exercise was gone through. First, a committee was appointed in 2006 under the chairmanship of Dr. Muthu Kumaran, the then Vice Chancellor of the Bharatidasan University. Then it went on to a committee presided over by a retired IAS officer. Elaborate exercise was done. And now, what the Madras High Court says is that the 9-man committee did not go into in any detail. It is by no means an expert committee. It was intended to suggest ways and means of implementing the common syllabus. And so long as an expert committee has been appointed and has gone into it, it is not possible for you to upset the Common Syllabus Act, which has been upheld earlier by the division bench. After about 5 years, this legislation has come in 2010. And in 2010, the Madras High Court upholds it. And therefore, a 9-man committee which was appointed pursuant to the orders of the Supreme Court was only to examine the limited question as to how to find ways and means of implementing the Uniform Syllabus Act. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right,
it was not intended to throw overboard.
All right, let me just put that question to Mr. Gajendra Babu. Mr. Gajendra Babu, that 9-member panel, like Mr. Prasad was mentioning, appointed by the Supreme Court, did have quite a few crucial roles to play in these past 3 weeks, but they did review the syllabus, recommended against the implementation of the uniform syllabus this year as well. Did the High Court never respect their views at all?
The Supreme Court judgment has pointed out that some of the members have told that the syllabus is good, it is better, it is improved, and it is on par with the NCF 2005. The government did not give the dissent note to the High Court. They have told that it is an unanimous decision of the committee to drop the common syllabus, that is to implement the syllabus only after the review. That statement itself is false as per the High Court judgment, because the High Court judgment has quoted that some of the members like NCRT members Tripathi and Anil Sethi has observed that this syllabus is much improved and it meets the requirements of NCF 2005, if not completely, at least to the maximum extent.
Right, but the fact of the matter is now that the Madras High Court has struck down that amendment introduced by the government. Mr. Navneetha Krishnan, what really is going to be your next step?
The government is preferring appeal before the Honorable Supreme Court of India as early as possible, because the Madras High Court judgment is not legally valid. Hence, we are preferring appeal to the Supreme Court of India.
Right. Just to come back to you, Mr. Babu, the government still holds the viewpoint that the syllabus is substandard, as they call it, and that's why they are going ahead with that appeal in the Supreme Court. How do you react to that?
That statement is completely false, because if you compare we have compared the textbooks with even the NCRT textbooks. If you compare the textbook with the present matriculation SSLC Oriental or Anglo-Indian, it is a much improved textbook. We don't say that any textbook is a perfect textbook, but when you compare with any of the existing textbooks, these textbooks are better, improved, and they to the maximum extent they comply with the perceptions of NCF 2005.
Well, in fact, 200 crore rupees have been spent on those textbooks. Let's hope they do finally land at where they are destined to be. That's where the students really need them. We'll slip into another short break on the big question and draw concluding remarks from all of our panelists and get what really the sense of this verdict today means for the schools and most importantly for the students as well. That's coming up on the last segment of the big question. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.